Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here, and it's a Creative Expressions video. Creative Expressions is where I talk about my finished objects, my works in progress, what's happening in my life, and anything else I decide to throw in here. I always have chapter links on this video, as well as I link any of the patterns and stuff. Like this pattern's always linked down there, this pattern's always linked down there, but I add links if there's a pattern I mention. So that stuff's down there. So before we get too far, remember to hook that subscribe button, knit the like button, and leave some yarn in the comments. I know it's cheesy, but I love it. So let's talk about finished objects. Let's start with this one, because it looks like a little hat on my head. I'm going to put pictures up so you can see it. I'm calling it a bun bonnet. And I do have like a couple of hairpins in here, like this. I don't know, can you see that? It is like literally just the wire thing. And the whole point of it is not to hold the hair, so I don't even have to care if it's sticking or anything like that. I just have a couple in there to make sure this doesn't slide off my head. But otherwise, the hair is being held in by this. So there's an elastic here. I am going to leave the Ravelry project page because it's got a link to the pattern that I used for the doily, as well as the pattern I used for the edging, because I did not follow the doily pattern. Some instructions on what I did, and I put elastic in here. So that way you can go and see. And there's some information that if you're like, I really want to make those, but how did you do this? Just ask and I'll give you more information. So I'm really excited about that. Another thing I'm really excited about is my produce bag, my reusable produce bag. So it's, can I tell you, I'm going to put the pattern down below, but somehow I messed up. I think I know what happened. Because I ended up with twice as many around, but I'm glad I did. I like the size of it. I ended up, I think what I did was, instead of, there's one place where you do like some yarn overs and then you knit two together. I think on one of the rows I didn't knit two together, so instead of doing that decrease, it just did the increase around, and I think that's what happened, because I ended up with twice as many stitches at the end. But I just did a decrease round at the top and I got it all to work out. So it is big enough that I can put, I can put things in here, and I'm excited about that. So I am going to leave the pattern that I tried to follow down below. And as somebody who is still fairly new to lace knitting, this was a challenge because basically that's lace. But I have to tell you, one of the reasons I did this is because I want to make a snood, but all of the snood patterns are crochet, and I was like, there's got to be a way to do knit, because the crochet, you just pretty much knit out or crochet out a big circle and then do your little border and then put it on your head, maybe an elastic, maybe a drawstring, whatever. So I was like, all I have to do is knit a circle. And I was like, this totally looks like it could be a hairnet, right? So I'm thinking I will actually try knitting the ideas from this again and make myself a snood. So that's in the works. I'm gonna hang this right here, so I remember to go put it with my reusable bags when I leave the room. Alright, other finished objects. I finished this tithing hat. And I don't remember, I don't think I used all of the orange. I know I didn't use all the blue. But I finished this, and this is one where I did 3 yarns, but I have 2 of the blue. They're so similar in color, you can't tell them apart. Even looking, like, I know they're different, so I can kind of tell the difference looking at it, but like, if I didn't know to look for it, I wouldn't see it. And then I have the orange. So I did 3, and this was a fun learning experience. I've learned a lot, so I'm really excited about this tithing hat. The other tithing hat I'm a little frustrated with, but I did what I could. And so I have this brown and this orange, and this hat is way shorter than the other hats that I do. And so it can fit on a head, especially if hopefully a smaller head, but it's not ideal. But the reality is, this one, I, for whatever reason, decided I was going to start at the crown. I'm glad that I did, because the reason it is like this at the bottom is because I literally ran out of both colors. I think by the time I bound off, I had like a yard of orange left. Like, I that's why it's the way it is. I ran out of colors. So, but it's done, and it's in a hat, and it's great. No more brown, no more of this rusty orange color. I have to say, every time I work with a color like this or mustardy yellow, I think of Shannon of Another Yarn. Surprise. They're her colors that she really likes. I associate autumn colors with her. But anyway, I'm excited to have these. You can see like this, when they're held like this, they're definitely different sizes, but it's all good. It's all good. Somebody will appreciate this hat. It will be perfect for them. So those are my finished objects. I'm actually excited that I have so many finished objects today. That's pretty exciting. So for works in progress, I actually need to come over and look at my thing, because I don't think I gathered everything. And so I'm going to come onto my page and make sure. Okay, so I have here my helical socks. So you can see here at the right here, this is where I started the white. I started the pink. I think I started the pink at the beginning. Yeah, started the pink at the beginning of this row, and then I just kept going with the green. But this is helical knitting, and so for this sock, I go and I will work this side until 3 stitches before I change colors here. I will slip these 3 stitches and then pick up my pink and go across. And so each time you slip like that, I found out when I was doing ribbing, I'm trying this out with ribbing, I learned something about it, and I'm so glad that I did, because it helped me to understand some of what happens with helical knitting. I got to a point where this section of my ribbing, it was a row shorter than everything else, and I was like, that's really weird. But because in my brain I was like, okay, you slipped the 3 and then you made it up, but really you would have to slip all the way until you get back to the beginning of the round before you have the same amount of stitches on a row. And I didn't understand that at the time. So now I'm aware of that. It doesn't usually matter. Like, it doesn't matter in the hats that I've made. It would have mattered on the ribbing because you could tell the difference, but it wouldn't matter on the socks. The only thing with the socks is when I get to where I put the heel on, I have to be really careful of where my yarns are. And one of them has to be at the edge and the other 2 need to be on the same side. So that can be a little nerve-wracking. And then the heel has to go up on the opposite side. So if all goes well, then I will end with 1 yarn over here for each of these, and then 2 yarns on this side so that I can put my heel on the side that has this jog, because I really want my heel to be on this side. And, you know, as far as if I don't have green over here, it's okay because I can just either work off the other side of the yarn or cut these greens and come in and do my green heel. And then when I get back to the green, reattach. So I'm not too worried about it, but I am excited for these. These are for me. They're really pretty. The colors I have going on, sorry, dropping things. I have this color, which is called Petrol. This color is like natural, so it's like a creamy white. And this is Old Dusty Rose, I think. So it's kind of a pinky rose color. It's really pretty. I love rose color. I love the green too. It's like my favorite color of green. And they're all from Hobie. They are all one weight, 100% cotton yarns. 2 of them are Mayflower, I think, and the other one's the rainbow cotton. And I know some people don't like it, like the idea of working cotton for socks. They're just like, eh. But for me, I have some that I've made, and I'm okay with them. I usually wear them because even though it's a 1 weight, it's a little bit thicker, so they're probably more like a 2 weight. I usually wear them more for slippers around the house, and they're like jeans. You wear them, they might stretch out a little bit, but as soon as you wash them, they're like right back to, you know, the size they were. So I'm not really worried about it. I'm gonna come back over and look real quick to see if there's anything on my stuff that I didn't add or bring in here. I have not bought my sleep matted. I haven't been working on that. It's a crochet thing. It's something I'm doing overlay mosaic for. And because I am working on the blanket that I show on Tuesdays, I haven't been doing much other crochet. I've done a little bit of other crochet, but I haven't done a lot. I haven't been doing the wrap that I was supposed to be working on. So if you want to see the mosaic blanket, overlay mosaic blanket, go check out Tuesday's video. I'll link it up here. It is great. Plus, you know, come back tomorrow. The next one's coming. All right, everything else I have here next to me. So we'll just take them as the bags I pick up. All right, so I got a little frustrated with this. This right here is a slipper I have made for my daughter. I used my tutorial kind of thing. It's kind of, I don't know. I think I want to redo it. I'm kind of feeling like I want to redo all of my tutorials, but we'll see. Tutorials are hard. Anyway, I made this slipper and I was like, oh, I finished the slipper, and I'm now trying to undo it, but this yarn like knots to itself. It felts, even though it's 100% acrylic, it felts. But I had done it, and then I actually had it all done. I even cut my yarn. I was like, what am I doing? Because when I put it up together, it was not long enough. So I'm really close. Once I finish this and get it done, then I'll do the edges here. I'm really frustrated because I know that I have these adorable, huge white pom-poms to put on them, and I don't know where they're at. But I did have a thought. What I'm going to do is like what I did for a hat that I made her. I made her a reversible hat. It was, I'm going to put pictures up here, but it was a, what's the name of that kind of crochet? Afghan crochet, Tunisian. Okay. And I made it so it was reversible. And so I wanted the pom-pom to be removable, and I just did a yarn pom-pom. But I went and found buttons that are like they look like little barrels, so that you can slide in. Actually, I don't think hers looked like barrels. They were just, but they were like oval buttons, so it can slide through the crochet and hook. And so I think I'm going to get some of that and sew onto these, sew buttons onto the pom-poms. so that she can take the pom-poms off if she doesn't want to wear them. It goes along with the character. I'm going to put a picture of the character up here. She starts out without anything on her slippers, and then in the movie something happens and she ends up with little puffballs on her slippers. So my daughter would love that she can have them without and with the puffballs. And also that way she can wash them by take out the puffballs, wash them. I think that will be great. So I just got to figure out where I put those. So I'm getting close. I have to finish the one, do the border on both of them, and then figure out how the pom-poms go. I'm excited. Very excited. All right. I may be showing these on Tuesday videos. I don't know. I've been working on my granddaughter's cardigan. I figured out that, Shannon of Another Yarn, she's like, do a 10 gram challenge. I figured out that to go across this entire thing, I've got the back panel and both front panels, and I'm just working all of it at once. So I go across, so this next one will be the front row. I will go all the way across here. I'll drop that yarn. I'll go across here, drop that yarn, go across here, and then I'll purl or whatever. It's not straight purl, but I'll do the back side. It is hard to see because of the marling, but there are cables. And so there's cables all across the back, cables on the front. There are cables over 8 stitches here. Oh, I'll just show you on here. Okay, so there's cable over 8 stitches. There's this twist thing that's done over 2 stitches. Cable over 16 stitches, a twist. Cable over 8, twist. Cable over 16, a twist, and a cable over 8. And then on the edges of these, it's got 2x2 ribbing. There's purls between each cable twist set. And on the front panels, of course, they're mirrored to each other. There's the 2x2 ribbing on the outside edges. These will be the sides that attach, at the side seam. There's, maybe if I show you the front of them. Okay, so there's the 2x2 ribbing, and then there's over 8, a twist, over 16, a twist, and then over here on the edges, it's a seed stitch. And then this side here, I've marked where my buttons go. I don't know how well you can see them. This one's easier to see, but I pinned in the stitch markers. It looks like I probably have about another 3 or 4 rows, and then I will have to put in my other ones. And then on this side, the buttonholes are in here. And so basically what I do is wherever I put the buttonhole, I don't even know, can you see that my thumb pokes through? I don't think you can see it because of the coloring. Anyway, there is a buttonhole there, and there's a buttonhole at the bottom. And so I'll do the buttonhole and then mark on the other panel so that the buttons are in the same place. It worked perfectly for my grandson's cardigan. I think it will work perfectly for this one. So I don't even have to measure to know where to put my buttonholes. I just go, oh, there's a stitch marker there. That's where the button goes. Sew it on. We're good. Anyway, I figured out that 10 grams of this yarn gives me 3 rows. So going all the way across all 3 panels, back across all 3 panels, and all the way across all 3 panels is 10 grams of yarn. I figured that out. I tried to do at least 4 because I do need to have this done by Thanksgiving, and there's still the sleeves as well. This stuff is the Karen Simply Soft Marled. And so this is a red marled. I don't remember what it's called. This is a 4-weight. It's 100% acrylic yarn. What's the color? Found a lot. Harvest Red. So the coloring does not show the cables super well especially over pictures, but it's okay. it's still fun. It's still there. My granddaughter will see them. She'll love it. I definitely don't love making a wearable with acrylic, but it's okay. It will work out well. So I'll get those 3 panels done, and then I have sleeves to make, and I will make the sleeves 2 at a time as well. It helps me to make sure I get things all the right size. So I've been working on that. The thing that I really have been trying to do the 10-gram challenge for, and oh my gosh, I'll talk about this more on Tuesday, but that's hard. That's not so bad. I'm like 4, it's worsted weight, 10 grams, 3 rows, I'm done. I try to do more, but at least I know if I at least do 3 grams or 3 rows, I've done 10 grams of yarn. Because it's acrylic and it's heavier. This stuff is acrylic, but this is way lightweight. So the yarn ball is this Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK. So it is, each ball is 4 ounces, 114 grams. There is 478 yards in each ball, 437 meters. And it is a 3-weight, although these glasses are so dirty. It is a 3-weight, but I would say it's more of a 2-weight as far as how it feels. And 100% low pill acrylic. And the color I've got is Irish Rain. This is the color. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I started and frogged and started and frogged and started and frogged. I swear I started like 7-8 times. I did a whole bunch and I was like so stressed. So then I found another pattern, tried that one. That's when I found out about the ribbing, losing a stitch when you do helical knitting. So I was like, that's frustrating. And so then I went back to the other pattern and I was doing okay. But I was frustrated because the yarn is so dark that the pattern wasn't showing up very well on the yarn. It was like doing this thing where the pattern doesn't show up, but this was because it's so dark. So I was like, well, that's frustrating. So when I had something go wrong, I ended up frogging again, and I just said, I'm done. I'm not doing that pattern. I will save that pattern for next time when I find a better color that will show the definition really well. So that's the plan. So then I cast on the other pattern that I found. And so this is how far I've gotten. So isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. I am working with 2 yarns, but instead of doing the slip 3 thing, I'm just being very careful when I get to the end of my round and pick up my other yarn. I'm being very careful that I don't pull it very tight. So I am, I do have 2 yarns going, and then when I finish one, I will switch. Part of the reason I did that is because when I ordered the yarn, I got 3 skeins of one dye lot and 3 skeins of another dye lot, and I went, and so yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. It's going to be very pretty. It just has a simple 2x2 ribbing around the top, and then it's got a little bit of texture because of the way you do your increases. When you do an increase round, it just gives these little things. I don't know how well they're showing up. It's kind of hard for me to hold it. There's these little things because and they kind of make a hole. But as long as I don't pull too tight, you can't see the hole, but it leaves little texture. Because, and this is a free pattern, so I'm going to talk about it. When you get to the thing you do, a yarn over, or you knit, and then before you let go of the stitch, you yarn over and you knit the same stitch again. So there are 3 stitches in that one stitch. Unless I'm doing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right. If I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong on the whole thing. But my counts have been accurate so far, so I must be doing something right. But anyway, yeah. I still have not knit 10 grams in a day yet. I find, because this yarn is lighter weight, it is also, like, it feels like a 2, and it's just a very lightweight fabric. I get to 5 grams and I'm like, surely I've done 10. And I've only done 5 grams. I think the most I have knit has been 7 grams in a day. And it just has to be okay. I just try to get as far as I can because I really want this sweater. I think it will be really pretty to wear. I want this sweater as soon as I can. I love how it's got the little bit of color changes because of the kind of yarn it is. I just love that. Like, this is a really, really fun yarn to me. So I'm excited about that sweater. I am super, super duper excited about it. And that's pretty much it for all my works in progress. So, life updates. My son is now a motorcycle driver. He has driven to work and home. Only the one time, that was yesterday, because it was the first day he felt confident, but also it was a day that he was scheduled during the day. We're a little bit nervous because he usually works at night, getting off at 10 on Sundays, 11 on Monday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday is midnight. So that's really late and it's very dark. And so also he said it was really cold driving to work yesterday morning. But he does have his motorcycle. He does have his permit. He does have it insured and licensed, and he's now driving. And it's crazy. And everybody's like, but it will save you gas. And I'm like, only for a month, because then the weather is going to be too bad for him to drive again. But whatever. So that's a thing. I have been following the Organised Mum Method for cleaning. Every day I do a quick thing where I quickly make my bed, I quickly make sure the kitchen table is wiped off, sweep the kitchen floor, and then the rest of my timer I spend in a bathroom. So I kind of have a system now where I clean the sink and mirror and toilet. The first week didn't do more than one thing, but sink and mirror, toilet are all on one day, and then the next day I just make sure that the toilet still looks clean, kind of wipe down the room or the seat really quick, make sure that nothing looks dirty, and then I do the tub. And then the next day, I again check my seat and sink and just make sure things look okay. And then I do sweep them off the floor. Then the next day, I actually do my little check on my seats and stuff. And then I go downstairs. I only go downstairs if my upstairs feels clean to me. Because it's where guests use, it's where I use, and I don't have to walk downstairs. But on Thursdays, I do walk downstairs and I do the, I'm trying, it hasn't worked out yet, but my plan is to do the sink and mirror and toilet on Thursday, and then on Fridays clean the tub, and then on Saturdays mop the floor. I did not do it this time because I hadn't gotten to the tub last time, so that was the thing I did first. But those 6 things, and then on Sundays I will just make sure things are wiped, but I'm not going to do a full thing. Because it's Sunday, it's a day of rest, but I still want my house to stay tidy. So that's what I'm doing for that. And that's how the bathrooms go. Pretty quick, it's keeping it clean. Then I have a half hour that I found out that I have to divide in half. So I do 15 minutes, take a break, 15 minutes. And that is Mondays are the living room. So I'll do 15 minutes of cleaning in the living room, take a break, do 15 minutes again. Tuesday, and I go as far as I can. I have a list of things I would like to have done every week. Do those. If there's time, I move on to some of the things that aren't as frequent. Tuesday is the hall, stairs, and landing, and which means another day of going downstairs. But I clean the hall and stairs upstairs and mop the landing for my 15 minute, and then for my other 15 minute, I do the downstairs stuff. So that's pretty cool. Then Wednesdays is bedrooms, and I start in my room for the first 15 minutes, and for the other 15 minutes I kind of check and see what needs to be done in kids' room that I can help with. But my kids, my youngest is 15, so they're all teenagers, so they're kind of responsible for their own stuff. So I kind of see if there's anything I can help them with, kind of that kind of thing. And then Thursdays is kitchen. So the first half, I have a couple of things I wipe down, and then I sweep and mop one half of the floor. And then when I come back, I will wipe down a couple other things and sweep the other half of the floor. And then Fridays is a kind of a zone idea, and there are 8 rooms that she rotates through, and I'm kind of sticking with those because I feel like between the 4 days and the bathroom getting done every day, the house is mainly clean, so I think it will be okay. But we'll talk about another thing I'm doing as well in a second. So last week was week 1, and I think it's bedrooms was week 1. So I did some decluttering in one of the kids' room and got some decluttering done in my room, and I'm making progress. It's great. Between a little bit of 5 minutes extra every week, plus then the stuff that I'm doing as it rotates through, I'm making progress. My house feels so much better, and I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels so much better. Today I'm supposed to be doing the living room. I don't know that I'm going to make it. Just there's a lot of other things going on. So even though normally there's nothing on Saturdays, I'm going to do work on Saturday. Saturday, I have put yard work because she doesn't have it in her system. And I'm like, the lawn needs to be mowed every once in a while. So on the weekends when the kids are home, Saturday we'll do mowing. Tomorrow, I don't know if we'll do anything outside. I don't know. I might go out and sweep because there's some dust or some stuff. Or maybe I'll do that today. Go sweep up the dead grass, and then from last week that got left. And then do the front room stuff tomorrow. Kind of switch my weekend today just because of the timing. Anyway, I feel really good about it. I don't remember. I know there is a week for the kitchen. There's a week for the outside. There's a week for, let's see, you got front room and bedrooms. Oh, it's front room and master bedroom. And there's a week for the children's bedroom. So I must have just worked in here last week. I don't know. There's kitchen, bathroom, outside, a miscellaneous room. Oh, and the hall, stairs, and landing. Which, for me, it also includes my pantry and my linen closet. So there's some, and the coat closet. So there's some things to do. Anyway, so those rotate through an 8-week cycle, and then you start over again. And I finally feel like I feel productive, and I only clean for this little bit of time. 45 minutes for the stuff I've already talked about. But that's not all. I've been doing a declutter challenge. I both like it and dislike it. I feel frustrated because I have something I need to work on, decluttering, but then I'm following the challenge, so I'm doing the stuff that she's saying, which I'm still decluttering, but I don't feel as productive decluttering wise as I could. However, we just took a cupboard thing that we no longer need to the thrift store, so that was exciting, and I felt like that was progress. So I've been working through Cass the Clutter Bug. She's got a decluttering challenge, so I've been doing that for September. So it's making progress in decluttering, but not as much in the areas I feel like I needed, because I've been decluttering off and on for close to 20 years, at least. I first started, I know for sure, I may have started it in when my son was really little, and he's 31. But for sure, I started it in the place that we were living when all my kids were babies, and they're older teens and young adults now. So I've been at least decluttering for 20 years. I learned Feng Shui. I started trying to follow the Fly Lady system back in the 90s or early 2000s. It's been a long time. Not 90s, it was the early 2000s. I came across her in the early 2000s, and so I've been trying to get myself in systems that work for me, and decluttering for over 20 years. So, or at least 20 years, I guess I should say. I finally feel like I've got something going for the whole house cleaning. I feel like this actually is going to work for me. Yes, 45 minutes a day is a lot compared to some of the systems, but I was never making progress, and I was wearing myself out. I feel like I'm making progress now, and I figured out that I need the breaks. I'm good. I felt like I was cleaning all the time when I was doing the Fly Lady system. Some people don't, but I felt like I was cleaning all the time, because it was like, you need to do your fire drills and your this thing and that thing, and I felt like every time I turned around, I was cleaning. Even though you're only supposed to have this 1 hour a week, I felt like I was cleaning all of the time on the Fly Lady system. This time, I'm like, I did my 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm done for the day. The only other thing I'm doing is dishes and decluttering. So I'm going to talk about both things. I told you I'm working on the cast decluttering project thing. I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to do the decluttering of the stuff that I need to do. And I came across a video maybe if I can find it, I will link it down below. She's like, if you've got a project, here's some steps. So she did the steps to the project, and I followed it along with my dishes, because I'm like, of all the things going on in my life, the dishes are the thing that's driving me crazy. And I decided I needed to do dishes after every meal. I needed to do them 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And if I could keep up on dishes that much, we could keep up. And today is day 5. I've only missed a couple of my check-ins. Things are so good. But one of the things that came from that is she's like, you need to name your project. You need to name your challenge. And so I was going to call it Super Shiny Sink. And I wrote down SSS, and I was like, oh, hey, if I put an O in there, can I come up with an acronym for SOS? And it's Save Our Sink. So now I am doing Project Save Our Sink, and I am working on creating myself into the habit of washing dishes 3 times a day. Save Our Sink. There's something about naming it that just like inspired me. So I have finally feel like dishes are under control, at least right now. I figured out my laundry system a long time ago, so I have laundry to put away because Friday is my laundry day. I'm recording on Friday, but I just wash my clothes on Friday. I have a child that does her clothes on Monday. Another child does theirs on Tuesday. Another child does theirs on Wednesday. Another child does theirs on Thursday. The other child throws his in whenever because that's just how things work right now. He's hardly ever home. When he's home, he's usually asleep. So he doesn't have a specific day right now. But we got it down. It's a system. So laundry, I feel like, check. We're good to go. Dishes were harder for me. Dishes has always been a hard one for me. I washed them by hand, but even when we had a dishwasher, So now we have Save Our Sink, and it's working, guys. It's working. So I took that idea. I'm like, okay, well, I need to declutter my laundry room. I need a fun name that will inspire me to do it. So when I finish Cass's project, sorry about the noise, somebody went in and out the front door and it makes the whole house shake. When I finish September 30th with Cass's thing, I'm going to start one that I'm hoping to finish over October and November. I'm calling it Operation Catnip. We're getting a kitten in October, and having this room cleaned up will be helpful to the cat. My daughter's like, well, doesn't catnip make cats high? And I'm like, oh, that's perfect because decluttering this room will give me a high. Woohoo! So Operation Catnip, and every day except for Sundays, my goal is to go down and spend at least 5 minutes decluttering in that room. And hopefully in the 2 months, I can get that room decluttered. And that is my goal. If I can clear out that room, it will massively change the dynamics of the house. The problem with that room is that was my mom's storage stuff. So I would say 90% of the stuff in that room was hers. So it's going to be a lot to go through. So I've got that. I have other deep cluttering projects as well, but that's like my big one and I'm excited for it. So that is what is happening in the life of Michele. We have been getting our house. My daughter finally started cleaning her room. Something just clicked and she just got this cleaning bug, and it's amazing because we've been wanting this for a long time. So things are doing great. Our house is starting to feel good. We're getting a cat, 2 kittens actually. I can't wait for you guys to meet them. I will put their pictures up here because they're so cute. And I can't wait to introduce you guys to them. And we're scheduled to pick them up on October 17th. And I told my daughter a while ago that I could not get them the cats. We couldn't bring the cat. With the time we had one cat we were going to be bringing home, and I was like, I cannot bring the cat home if your room is like that, because she doesn't have a door. She lives in a room that should be a family room, but it's her bedroom. It's just so she doesn't have a door, and I'm like, we can't bring a cat in if her room's that messy. We just cannot do it. And then when we found out we were actually going to get 2 kittens, that's when she's like, I'm going to clean my room. But also some other things have happened, and she just, it's go time. So we're excited. Now I've been talking for way too long, and I've got to go take my kids to their dad and then come home and edit, and yay. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to pull this off. Remember to let your light shine through your creations, whatever they be, crochet, knit, whatever the things are. If you have not already heard, on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, I have a yarn party. I would love to have you join us. Go ahead and send me an email. And if you would like to participate in a yarn party, but the timing is just really bad for you, let me know, and we can see if we can create a new yarn party time that would work for you. I'm a little frustrated. One of the handles is longer than the other. It's okay. I only notice it when I'm sitting here playing with it. So I knew it was there, but I don't. It's not gonna be a problem. It's not gonna be a problem with the groceries. It's just a problem now while I'm thinking about it. Anyway, that's it. Again, remember to let your light shine through your creations, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.